Welcome back, everyone. So our next guest is an international best-selling author known for some of the most beloved novels from the last 3 decades, including the massively popular Rachel's Holiday.
Now, 25 years later, she is revisiting one of her most cherished characters. In the sequel, Again, Rachel, please welcome to the social, all the way from Ireland, award-winning author Marian King.
You keep coming back.
Oh, yeah. I love this show, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're delighted.
And how lovely to be here in real life.
Oh, yes.
Goodness. They were a grim couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah, but look at us now.
Look at us.
Look at this new book. Can we start with that, and can you fill us in on where we're picking up with Rachel?
Okay, Rachel is now in her 40s, refusing to be invisible, working as a counsellor in the place where she got clean all those years ago. Life is good. She got married to the delicious Luke Costello, then divorced him 6 years ago. We don't know the reason. But she's got a lovely new fella now. She's got a dog. She's got a really kind of dangerous trainer habit. You know, she's best friends with her delivery man. And everything is good until Luke's mother dies. He arrives back in Ireland for the funeral, and they meet, and things happen.
Things happen. You know, you've said you've always resisted the idea of writing a sequel. So what drew you back to the Walshes?
Well, Luke Costello, mostly, even though he's not an official Walsh. It was interesting, the idea of writing about a woman in her 40s and how long-term relationships are so different to that first flush of, you know, I wanted to be more realistic about what love is about. And also, she's in recovery, and I was interested in long-term recovery, you know, and how that works for people.
Well, because there's also parallels to your life. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I'm in recovery for alcoholism. I've been sober over 28 years.
Wow.
And I went through rehab, and Rachel's Holiday, Rachel isn't me, and, you know, we're not kind of alike, but her journey through kind of denial and kind of the shock of realising that she might actually have a problem, and into kind of living life free and clean. You know, I had a lot of knowledge to be able to write that properly.
Yeah.
And you put that knowledge in your books, but you once said that, quote, there are so many women who are kind of ashamed to be reading my books because they've been told to be. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's this awful phrase, guilty pleasure. I mean, if something is a pleasure, you shouldn't feel guilty about it, unless you know that you should be feeling guilty about it. You know, and it's not reading a book with a pink cover. Really, there are things you really should be ashamed of. I just think anything that women do is automatically given less weight than if it's done by a man. And a great way to undermine a person is to tell them that the things they love are worthless or stupid, because if you tell them that the things they love are stupid, then they feel stupid. Anyway, my books aren't a guilty pleasure. There's no need to feel guilty. Thank you.
Well, what is an absolute pleasure is that season 2 of your podcast with actress and comedian Tara Flynn, it actually kicks off this Sunday. The podcast is Now You're Asking, and it offers advice to listeners. So we thought, listen, we've got you here. We're going to tap into some of your expertise, and we have a question from one of our viewers that we want to pass on to you. This one comes from Veronica in Kelowna, BC. Hi, ladies. I have been friends with a guy for 10 years, and we ended up sleeping together. We are both single and have a great friendship. Please help. Should we take the plunge and give it a go, or leave it as a one-night stand? Oh my gosh, Marian?
People are saying leave it. Really? Oh my God, I'm the total opposite.
You do the opposite.
You do the opposite. Yeah. You have enough friends. You know.
You have enough friends.
If you like them and if it worked, why not try? Yeah. And I think the best relationships are always based on friendship. You see, I'm very old, I'm very wise. I know what I'm talking about.
I love it.
And obviously, it must have been nice if she's considering doing it again.
Why is she asking the question?
Exactly.
Why is she asking? No, I don't know. I had this exact same life situation happen, and it didn't end well. So that's my caution there.
But maybe that was the lesson.
Maybe that was the lesson.
Have you go through it?
That's the thing. We can never know. Like, life isn't like a scientific formula.
You're right.
We never know. Like, it could go well, it could go terribly. And I always think, just go for it. Fling yourself into it. you know, what's the worst that can happen?
She's heading
You're
there.
down
The
one
fact that she's
friend.
asking means
That's
she's
it.
heading there.
Exactly.
Like, I mean,
could have
she
already
doesn't have
happened.
to.
Probably done it already.
Yeah.
They're
Mary,
probably at it right now. You know?
Marian, you're such a treat always. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. You're fabulous.
So you can catch Marian in conversation at the Toronto International Festival of Authors. That is tomorrow. And for more information, you can head to festivalofauthors.ca. Studio audience, listen up. You're all going home with your copy of Again, Rachel.
Hey there! Wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.